Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I
Pretty much
know.
just
Mm.
echo with everything that y'all said. You're very strong for and brave for telling your story. You
Yeah.
know, I think you're even stronger for seeking the help. Because there are
Mm.
so many. There's so many people who battle with depression and anxiety and other
Yeah.
mental disorders, and they never seek the help.
Yeah.
They pretty much go through life blaming other things or saying things like, I'm okay, I know how to deal with this, I know how to process this or process that, and they never get the help. And
Yeah.
sometimes they leave us through natural causes, and
Yeah.
other times because they never received their help, they end up like you pretty much said, the suicide route. And we're just glad,
Mm.
I'm personally glad that you did not go that route. you know
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even though you attempted it, but you have expressed that you now walk with God, and God had
Yes.
a
Mm.
plan for you.
Yeah.
you
There you
Absolutely.
know
go.
Yeah.
And it
God,
is
he had a
hurtful
plan for
when
you.
you
That's the reason why he did not allow you to
right.
succeed in those
Mm-hmm.
suicide attempts, whether it was, cutting or pills or overdose on some other level. God had bigger and better plans for you. And if they had not been revealed
Yes.
yet, they will be revealed
For
soon.
real.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was you finna say, Tina?
Mm.
I was just like it's and it is also since I know this person personally, it's kind of like that connection. Like I never knew she went through them thoughts like that, and like and I went through it too. So it's like it just reading it just kind of just reading about yourself, like
Yeah.
how you attempted and plan.
yeah.
Like I even planned my whole I planned. Oh, Tina. Oh, baby.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the L&D show. Happy Thursday. I am Lala.
I'm Devante.
I'm your girl T. What's happening?
How
And I'm your girl Tina.
y'all
What's up, you
doing? How
guys?
y'all
How are
doing?
Oh,
y'all? How
we
was y'all's
are
week so far?
pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Okay. Good. Good.
Working,
Getting ready for
Same.
this wedding.
stressing,
Same.
paying bills,
I hate
adulting,
adulting. I hate it.
adulting. you know, don't you wish you could have the freedom of adulting, but not the responsibilities of adulting?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
You know,
always
what?
say that. I always say that.
Yeah.
Come and go as I please, spend whatever I want, eat whatever I want, but the
Well,
financial
well,
hardship.
according to one of our previous shows, Tina, she did say if you had the big O, you can manifest that. So hey,
You still gotta work hard to get it.
Mm.
Hey, and now if it comes out dropping out of the sky, honey, I
Mm.
know you won't ever see me. I'll be like, hold on, y'all.
Tina,
Let me get
Tina,
this
how
$10,000
about this?
real quick.
See, now, how about you manifest it for all of us? Why
Help
don't you
me.
do
Yeah, y'all gotta put it to work too. Look,
Uh-uh.
T and Lala.
that? Like,
Oh.
during that achievement.
Uh-huh.
How
During that
about you?
time
You
frame.
go ahead and be like,
Mhm.
Lala, Devontae, Tina, Susan.
Uh, uh,
That would be so weird.
That would be so weird.
it
That would be
would.
so.
Pineapples. Pineapple.
Pineapple.
Don't say my name.
Oh,
Lord.
Oh
oh
my
my
god.
gosh.
Ooh.
Yeah, look. Hey.
Lord.
Look, but it's so good to be back with you all. And we hope that you all that's watching, we hope that y'all have had a great week so far too. Now, you know what we always say on the Thursday shows is that, the Tuesday shows are the lighthearted and fun shows. The Thursday shows are the real topics, the stuff that people, don't really want to talk about, but it has to be said. And if you have triggers and all that stuff, we suggest you not watch this show, but still subscribe to the channel, because you never
Right.
know. And how did you guys like that week of
Throwback.
rewinds?
It was
Throwback.
nice.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yes, it was
Good
nice.
laughs.
Yes.
Especially
And
seeing
I,
how far the channel has came, and different people, different
Mm,
personalities that you had on the
yes.
show. Yeah,
Yes.
good to see
And also, how did you guys like the version or the never before seen episode? The one I think
Oh my
whoever
God.
the person is, yeah, we
T.
definitely need to get them in back. I can't think of his name right now. The one
Shout
that
out to
kept,
Danny and Romeo.
yeah,
Romeo.
T, I think that was your first time actually
It
being on the
was.
show, right?
It
Yes,
It
was
that's when
the
you were
was.
very
inducted as the
first time.
Was like
co-host.
the introduction.
Yep. And I
Yes.
was like, okay, she look good. Hair looking good. She look good or whatever.
Yes, yes. Well, guys, we hope that you guys have been enjoying the shows thus far, and we hope that you guys subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and share. But without further ado, guys, we're gonna go ahead and jump into this Thursday show. So, what do we have up first, Devontae?
Well, up first. So this been going on, and the world pretty much followed, and it came to, unfortunately, the ending that some saw coming, many saw coming, but most
Mm,
was praying would be better, and that is
mm,
the missing Titanic sub. The sub that went on the exploration, to see the Titanic, and unfortunately never made it back to shore because of, I believe, technical difficulties and things of that nature. But the ending that these five experienced, you don't wish on your worst enemy. It'd have
yeah.
been one thing if they would have just, I guess, in a sense, suffocated to death and they were lost at sea,
Mm,
like some. But the ending that they experienced, if science is true and the wreckage that they found is true, is there's no way for them to even recover a body. You know,
gosh.
they exploded once certain chemicals got to a certain point, and the sub itself imploded, and well, that took all five of them pretty much to a watery grave. I mean,
Wow.
yeah.
it's
Sad.
crazy.
It's
What,
it's
do y'all think?
it's sad because the 19-year-old son, he did not want to do it, but he only
Right.
Mm.
did it because of his father. That's the only person I feel sorry for. The other guys, they knew better because I have read that they knew that submersible was not,
Mm-hmm.
It
ready
wasn't in the
to.
best condition.
Yeah,
It wasn't. It
exactly.
was. It wasn't approved.
Right. It wasn't
the
even
the the,
approved.
the device wasn't approved. It was more like a backyard experiment. I mean, in a sense, somebody who had
See,
money could go get
yeah,
parts and probably get the clearance records, things of that nature, as far as
Hmm.
diving down.
yeah.
But as far as it being like FDA and OSHA and all them approved and everything of that nature, it was not approved.
It was not a
That
Right.
problem.
particular vessel was not truly meant to sustain life.
And I
Right.
wonder if the 19-year-old had some type of, you know how Final Destination starts out with the premonitions and everything. I
Mm-hmm.
wonder. I wonder
Mm.
is that why he didn't want to do it? You know,
I
like
mean,
he just felt
honestly,
like something.
Or
Like he just
it
felt
also
something
could
was
have
wrong.
been, it could have been the fact that it takes 2 hours to get down there to see something. I can't hold
Right.
my breath for
Yeah.
2 hours. So if
yeah.
something was to happen and I had to escape out of this here contraption,
Yeah.
I am not gonna make it up
Mhm.
to the top because I can't hold my breath for 2 hours.
And then
Right.
maybe also it's the fact of going into the sea.
Yeah,
Like
that's
just ooh,
It's you.
it's scary.
Honestly,
You never know what you might see down there. It's scary.
true.
yeah.
I mean, it's an amazing thing. Those of us, who are into, you know,
Scuba
inspiration and
diving and
things of that nature,
yeah.
we would have enjoyed it. It wouldn't have been one of those things of talking me into doing it.
Mhm.
Um,
But you
but
would have did
if it
it
was
with
better
caution and
prepared,
safety.
if it was better equipped,
Yeah.
then yeah, like most people don't know that you can't just dive to the bottom of the sea and come straight back
Right.
up and everything.
Yeah.
Especially in a submersible. So
Right.
like if they honestly probably could have escaped if they had the necessary equipment down there with them to bring them
Right.
back up. Like if they had oxygen tanks.
And they didn't.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it just cost way too much for them to get
See,
down. Am I tripping? Did he freeze?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh. Okay. Well, we're gonna let you fix yourself. Oh, okay.
So there you go. Yeah,
Oh,
folks, for a minute.
yeah.
You know, I think it was honestly they put so
I
much
don't know what
attention
happened,
on it.
guys.
First off, these are millionaires. These are people who spent millions of dollars to do
Mm-hmm.
this. They knew what was entailed in it. So boom, that's that. Second, all of a sudden out of nowhere after they've exploded down under, there's
Mhm.
meat that is being cloned for
Oh,
people to eat. So you about to be eating fake meat. It was just a distraction. All the money that y'all put in to going down there to see this ship that sank could have went to people that are homeless to build places for homeless folk. The
I
money that y'all
agree.
spent to go down under to find these rich folks who knew what they was getting themselves into could have also went to the homeless and the hungry.
Thank
Y'all play
you.
way too much. You're
Way
out here
too much.
cloning food and changing university standards. I am so tired
Yes. Thank
of
you.
America.
Thank you. Thank
Like,
you.
it's
Thank
so
you.
annoying. It is.
Thank
It's
you.
the guy. I'm here.
And also,
Yeah.
not even that. Tina, do you have something to say?
No, I was just. It was the
It's
same
just
thing you pretty
agreeing.
much said. Yeah,
Yeah.
agreeing.
And
Same
you
thing.
know, also when that grabbed the world's attention, there was also something else that was already going on with the missing Titanic submersible
Exactly.
grabs the world's attention just days after ship holding 700 migrants
Mm-hmm.
sinks in Greek waters.
Distractions.
And
Yeah.
and
Because
and
how did how did that happen?
right.
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 700
How
versus
did
what?
that happen?
6?
700.
First off, it's overcapacitated.
I was
Yeah.
about to say that. I was like, is this an escape vessel or was this supposed to be a day party? Like, what is this? I see it's either a yacht or a boat.
Mhm.
I mean, well, of course it's a boat, but
And it
what
looked
was this? What
old
was this? I mean, because when you see
Yeah.
It
that
don't
many
even look
people close together,
right. It don't
what's
even
going
look
on?
sturdy though. It look like it's old.
Yeah, it looked
Yes.
like they pulled it
Oh,
out from under the water.
yeah, pretty
Right.
much.
That's ridiculous. Ugh.
It goes to
That's
the shade room
crazy.
that be keeping us in tune.
Yeah, shout out to the
Right.
shade room. Shout out to the shade
Uh,
room.
Yes.
You're right, absolutely. But it's
That's
just crazy
crazy.
how, you have these big stories and everything that, grabs the world's attention when there's something else in the world that's brewing. and they try to
Exactly.
cover that up, and that's just,
Mhm.
and I hate to bring it back to the whole Kobe Bryant situation when he passed away, God rest his soul, and his daughter's soul, and everybody else that was on that helicopter. But everyone made a big deal about it, which it was a big deal. Some people lost their lives, but at the end of the day, coronavirus was just
It
rising.
Right.
And
was.
it was like in the tabloids, but people kept
It was.
skipping over that until it really really hit. But
Mm.
it was always there all along. And
Mhm.
the world was just so stuck on the Kobe Bryant situation till they didn't look to see, like, hey, wait, well, a virus?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of stuff is this? Like, that's straight out
Mm.
of a movies, and it's like,
It
dang.
takes major, like, takes major things for the
Yeah.
world to open its eyes.
Yeah.
And pretty much when you have like one or two people saying something, those people are always listed as crazy or
Yeah.
psychotic or just rude names. And it's like, but I'm trying to tell you, open your eyes, see what's going on. It's not
Right.
what they're telling you. The media is this,
Right.
the media is that, your government is saying this, but they're doing something behind your back, and people are like, no, my government would never. They have my best
Right.
interests. The media would never report something that's false. No.
90% of the stuff
And the
that's
stuff
out
hits
here is
the
fake
fan,
news.
and it's like, we didn't see it coming. No, you should have. I was
Yeah,
telling you the
you
You
should
whole
weren't paying
have.
time.
attention.
You should
Right.
have. Yeah.
You weren't
Mm.
paying attention.
Gosh.
What can you
Mm.
do? What can you do?
Right.
There are going to be so many. I mean, I don't even know what's the best animal to say here. Honestly, wolves. There are going to be so many wolves, and there's going to be masses of sheep.
Wow. I definitely agree
Yep.
with you. Well, with that being said, the temperatures, the air control quality, and all that
Oh
stuff,
yes.
to our
And
UPS drivers are now getting air conditioning, and
You
it's
know,
about time. Them people deserve air conditioner.
I thought all along
Right.
they've had
Let
air
me see what
conditioning.
they
Me
come
too,
to
Lala.
I thought this whole time they have had air
Me
No,
conditioning in
too.
no,
there.
they
Me
do
too.
not
It's
I
if
like
you
didn't
see
have
have
it.
those, yeah,
if you see the doors
the
open,
only
I've seen the
ones that
doors
ever
open and stuff.
have had it are the 18-wheeler drivers and the van drivers.
mm-hmm.
Oh
But the
wow.
box the
The
traditional
That's
UPS
crazy.
van
box.
that you see does not have it. But see, here's my thing.
Wow.
Here's my thing. If they get the AC in the truck, are we gonna be missing out on the short brown shorts?
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie because some of them be looking really fine in their uniform.
Listen, I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you, but sometimes I time my business to certain hospitals to see the UPS drivers.
Shame
You be
on
like,
you.
I would
Must on
love
the UPS.
I would
chocolate.
love for my baby to get like a UPS uniform. Honey, just come on and just do
Listen,
me in, okay?
listen,
Because it's just
Sheila.
that's just
I'm
me.
not.
Listen,
It's like, baby, you
FedEx
want
Honey.
you
and
want to go ahead and apply
UPS,
for UPS.
FedEx and UPS.
Party City got them.
I think sometimes they know
Ah,
what they be doing.
that Party
Honey.
I
City.
can't. But they
Well,
deserve to
good.
get an air conditioner though.
They
Them people
deserve it.
be
They
riding
Yeah,
definitely
they
do.
around
deserve it.
all
They
day
All
definitely
long
that
do.
day
with
delivering
no air
packages,
conditioner.
and
And it's
some of them probably
hot.
do delivering packages too.
What about the packages?
I said some of them probably be delivering packages too, if you know what I mean.
Sister Mary Clarence.
Jesus.
Sister Mary Clarence.
On their lunch break, okay?
Sister Mary Clarence.
Uh
It's
huh.
not on the lunch break. Well, they got air conditioning now, so hey, in the van we
In
go.
the van it is.
Join
Lord
this
have
nice
Got a
mercy.
little
cool
air.
air.
Got a little air. Got a little air.
Mm.
Got a little air conditioner.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
shout out to you, UPS, for having some, and it's about doggone time.
Right.
That just means that they was not really caring for their employees like that. I mean, come
Right.
on
Most
now.
of these
They
people
could
out
have
here in
passed out.
potential 100-degree weather. Like Texas is
Right.
really going
What?
down
There
right
goes a
You
shot.
ain't never noticed how fast the UPS truck be going? They're trying to catch that wind.
now. Okay. Phew.
Hold on. So I have a question then. So
Yeah.
if it's not, and they didn't
Look,
have air conditioning.
you
What about
So you
heat?
tell me, yeah, exactly, T. So you telling me they had to freeze their little butts off in the wintertime?
And I
Like,
did.
well see
Well, they
no
don't wear the shorts year round.
well,
certain
no, but they
things
still gonna be cold. I mean, I walked
I mean
outside
I
Right.
and had on
know about
bundled
that,
up.
but
It
you
was
also see
cold.
that they have different clothing on. Um
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% certain, but I think there's still a way for them to get like heat in the truck, like with little portable heaters, kind of like how you see the little fan that's set above them. They'll turn that on, but it's only circulating hot air. I think it's like the same
Mm.
thing where like certain old school vehicles had like a little portable things like the fan, the little small heater, so they probably use
Mm-hmm.
that, throughout the winter
But
time.
I'm asking,
But
did
they
the
also had them
company
coats on,
supply
long
that?
Close the
pants,
door.
but.
Did the company supply that, or
Like you
did they
wouldn't
have
see
to
the
go and get it?
like
That's a different
you
story.
wouldn't see
Like,
them driving with the door open in the wintertime, except for certain ones. But
I tell you what.
Mm.
I tell you what. Speaking of work and so on and so forth, how y'all feel about your supervisor sending you an email telling you have to put in a months to 2 months notice and train your replacements before you decide you want to quit?
nope,
this is how I
better
feel.
find
Not at
somebody.
all.
This is how I feel. Are you giving me a notice when you leave me work my last day and you can call me in the office and say we can no longer use you or we're parting ways or you try to, butter it up a little bit? Are you giving me a notice when you call me home and saying, hey, don't come in today?
Mm-hmm.
Or drop all your uniforms off, or bring your name tag, your badge, your keys, all your uniforms, and drop them off at the front desk. Security will meet you. Are you giving me a notice for all of that? Are you giving me any type of notice? Only time typically when you get a notice from these corporations or any type of job is when everybody is getting let go and it's like, hey y'all, we got 30 days and they're shutting the doors. Other than that, you don't give us no notice when
Right.
you want to part ways with us. So me giving
Exactly.
you 24 hours, me giving you a week, me giving you the standard 2 weeks
It's
to let
too
you
much.
find somebody. Guess what? I've given you a notice. So I didn't turn your life upside down like you would do mine when I get fired on the spot. And now here I am worried about paying my bills, feeding my children, putting gas in my car. But you upset because now you, Karen, and Sean got to work an extra hour a day to keep up with the man. I don't feel bad for you.
No.
I
No.
don't feel bad for you at all. I don't. And I'm definitely not hiring my replacement. You think I'm gonna sit up here and train this person to the nines, knowing that if I take my job? If anything, I'm about to tell some secrets, which the things that you're not supposed to do, you should do.
Mm-hmm.
Breaks are actually an hour and a half around here. You get 1 hour and you get two, unpaid breaks. I'm
So
about to say all the tea.
Do anybody have the letter pulled up?
yes,
You
so
do. Okay, got
the
you.
email that was sent out
Uh-huh.
to all inboxes, it's urgent, says, hello all, happy Wednesday. I'm not so happy this morning. Yesterday, 3 of you submitted a 2 weeks notice. All 3 of you claimed that it was because of a better opportunity, not even thinking about the fact that some of your coworkers have lives outside of this job and children. Your better opportunities doubtful. This is in like
Yeah.
semicolons.
Yeah.
Doubtful. We pay you all fair wages. are really worth affecting your team members' quality of life? Question mark. I myself have children, and instead of being at their band recital this week, I will have to be sitting at work, posting job offers on Indeed instead. This is outrageous. You all need to speak amongst yourselves and plan these things out so that you do not have or leave the company high and dry all at once. The lack of consideration from employees I previously had a different impression of is astounding. The new rule in our employee handbook, mind you, I'm quitting. So why do I even care about your new rule? The new rule in the employee handbook will be updated to now requiring a 3 months notice, since this is how long it took to train you. You would give a 3 months notice and train your replacement in the meantime, and your 3 months notice will serve as your consent of a base pay to be lower by $6 an
$6
hour.
an hour. Oh,
Since you will be leaving, your reduction in pay should be no issue. That's how it works from now on. You can thank your insubordinates for this. You can also thank them for the extra 30 hours of overtime per week you will be assigned to until I find new hires and they are fully
yeah,
trained.
right.
I
Yeah,
expect
right.
full cooperation from this team moving forward.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Baby,
Absolutely
listen,
freaking not.
that lady could
You
have
can
took
kiss.
that
You can kiss my
email.
ass.
Listen, after
Kiss
that
it.
email would have been sent, she would have got no notifications for some Zoom meeting.
Hello, immediately. I'm
Immediate.
calling you.
All people
Phone
have been
ringing.
tagged.
Answer it.
CEO, CFO, AVPs, everybody. It's mandatory that you attend. I don't care what you got going on, but guess what? It's being sent out.
Drop it
Yeah.
down. Answer. Answer.
Right.
Answer.
Mm.
Look. So, what would y'all
Baby.
It's
do
gonna be a
in
it's
this
gonna be a rant. I'm
situation,
sorry, it's gonna be a
viewers?
rant. For me it's gonna be a real rant.
I would have read the email and I would have left out then.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
gave you a 2 week notice,
And
but
you ain't about
now
to cut my
I'm just
pay.
about to leave.
No.
When I'm gonna
No.
work for, I'll get paid more going to McDonald's for the next
Right.
couple weeks.
Yeah,
What am
lost
I?
your
What?
mind.
I'm out.
Stop
I'm
it.
now not giving you anything because
Right.
for one, you ain't signed no contract with me, so therefore I'm not stuck in anything with you. I don't owe you nothing.
They do.
You took the time to pay for those 3 months of training. That was on you. That is not my problem. Anywho, girl,
Well,
I was
I don't feel
Right.
sorry.
watching.
I don't feel sorry.
viewers, we have spoken. What do you guys think about this topic? Let us know in the comments section. Or have you been through something similar to this? Because some companies are shady as hell.
Yep.
So let us know. Tell us your stories in the comments section, if you will, and we will be reading. Well,
What's going on? What's that?
Huh?
Did y'all hear about the lady, who was charged in Chicago, her and her son?
yes,
Murder?
Yes.
I heard about that mess.
So apparently, this young lady goes into this restaurant to get food. This guy and his lady friend walks into the restaurant to order food as well. A few moments in, the young lady that was in first and the young man that came in after got into an altercation. Words were exchanged. This young man proceeded to ask her to shut up. And if she didn't shut up, he was going to knock her out.
Yeah.
And so she continued to talk. And so he started hitting her.
Mhm.
She, in some way, was able to text her son, who was outside, who's 14 years old.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, he's 14 years
Yes.
old.
Yes, 14 years old.
She texts him and say, "Hey, come in with the gun. This guy is fighting me. I'm getting to it with this guy." So he walks in and he stands at the door for a minute. Mind you, he's not angry off the rip. He comes in to assess the situation, and when he walked in, the guy then started proceeding to hit on his mom again. So then the young man pulls out the gun and shoots the guy. Well, mom is at this point adrenaline rushing. I'm just going to blame it on the adrenaline.
Yeah, of course.
Tells him to go after the guy and continue to shoot him. Well, he shot him dead. He came back in. Mom then asked him to shoot the young lady that the man was with, because during the time she was getting hit by this man, the young lady that the man was with was laughing and saying, "B, I told you so. Should have shut up. I told you so." So keep in mind, this man whoops on her at home regularly. This is something she used to do. So you should have shut up. It's basically, in her mind, she gets beat up at home and she just shut up. She just got to shut up. You should have just shut up. But nevertheless, so the mama wants the young man to then shoot her because she was laughing. But the young man is, smarter than that. He uses his gun in defense, not offense. Mama, she ain't hitting on you, none of that. She tried to take the gun from the boy, but he pushed mom out the way, like, no, we ain't doing that. That's not what this is about.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. They got arrested. They were charged, but all charges have now been dropped because of the stand your ground law. He was simply protecting, and thank God that they were dropped, because this young man is an honor student. He's a scholar student. He's very smart. He's got his whole life ahead of him.
Yeah.
He was simply doing I can imagine my son walking in. My son has a conceal and carry license. I can imagine him walking into a restaurant wondering, why is it taking me so long? All the reasons why now is because somebody's beating up his mom. He's going to do the exact same thing.
Defend his mom.
He's definitely going to defend his mom. So they dropped the charges off of the, stand your ground law.
Yeah.
And good old Chicago, Windy City.
All right. Well, I have the video here, guys. Let's take a
Let's
look.
go.
Against a mother and her 14-year-old son have been dropped.
Get your food! Who? Get in the car? Who? Nay. Get your food! Get your food! If you say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out. Oh my grandma, say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out. Say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out.
The man later died from his injuries. A state attorney's office says they moved to dismiss the charges due to emerging evidence.
Well, I mean,
the only few things I can say about that is, number one, I do not fault that little boy for doing it, because you hit my mama. Ooh, honey, I'm still red. Number two, if I had a gun, yes, I would have shot him once, twice, and led something, because I don't believe in killing anybody, so I would not have ran after him, but I would have shot him in the kneecap, something, got him down just to protect my mama, just to, But other than that, I don't think I would have killed them. Like, ran after him and shot him some more. And I'm so glad that little boy did not shoot the girlfriend, because then it would have turned into murder, because she didn't physically assault the mom.
Yeah.
The boyfriend did. So I was happy that situation didn't go down. Let her laugh all she wants to. Not look what was funny. Nothing.
Yeah.
That part.
It's all fun and games till somebody gets shot.
Right.
Well, even though she didn't, even though the girlfriend didn't shoot, there are different states, different counties, different cities do different things. However, she can still be charged.
Yeah, the mama.
Because she did not.
Oh,
she did not step in. Yeah, the girl. She can still be charged. Certain. I ain't gonna say where or when, but certain states and certain things. However, if you're a bystander and you're witnessing somebody actually get assaulted and they can't physically defend themselves, as a bystander, especially somebody who knows the person, you can be charged, in that sense.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But my thing is, you see how everybody ran, them grown men. I mean, I understand you don't want to get into it, but that upset me also.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you why. In the gritty city of Chicago,
you don't get involved.
Like that happens, you scatter. Because the next thing is exactly what happened. That young man pulled out that gun and started shooting. If that man had a gun and they would have went after him for doing what he was doing, all of them shot.
Yeah.
Well,
So
you forgot I'm from Chicago.
Yeah. And
yeah, you are
I
from
have
Chicago.
But I mean, but even we had situations like that. Well, I ain't gonna say what happened, but we had situations like that. And
How long ago has been since
we
you've been in
ran deep.
Chicago?
Our family don't run kind of. We like everybody, the whole people outside. You walk out, you'll see a whole crowd of people. Like, what happened?
Yeah.
right. Right.
So I'm just saying that could just be my people, but
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do have a reading here from a clip from theroot.com, and it says after it was announced that Hood and her son wouldn't face any charges, people on social media sounded off about whether or not it was the right call. However, they are the victims in this entire ordeal. Not only was the mother violently assaulted by Brown, but onlookers used the moment to not help Hood, but to record her being punched and then remove themselves from an uncomfortable situation.
Down 911.
oh, and then to answer somebody question, we go every year almost. We just didn't get to go this year, so I think we
What
went
part of
last
Chicago
year,
you from?
Cook County.
That's where baby from.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
it's born in Cook County. So,
Well,
all right.
guys, viewers, what do you guys think about this whole situation? This is just crazy. This is just crazy. Like, why? My thing is, what happened for all of this to escalate to the
Like, what was the
situation that it
conversation that was
did she
had?
cut in front of him or something? Did he cut
Right.
in
Well,
front
she
of
was
her?
there first, so they
Right.
came in after. So
Did he bum
I
rush her,
don't
move bitch, get
know.
out the way or something like that? But let me tell you this though, because they had his funeral and all that stuff, and his family is going on, live and stuff, crowning him the king of knockouts.
That's distasteful.
Very distasteful. Very
You
distasteful.
know, God is not pleased with that.
Not at all. Not at all.
y'all know me. I'm a classy person and everything, and I just can't. I'm sorry, I just can't stand hood ratchet stuff. It just hurts my nerves. Ugh. The king of this, the king of that. Really?
Anyway,
And see, that's when somebody like me might come up with a joke. It's insensitive. I'm like the king of knockout, but you out.
okay.
Right. That's
What you think about it, y'all, in the comments? Let
Right.
us know how
Let
you
us know what
feel
you think
about
about
it.
it. Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
Go ahead and
Tina,
sound off
we got a
us.
letter.
Yep, we have one of our viewers wrote in their story.
Our first
Okay.
Whew,
letter.
What's it
it's
got?
kind of a tearjerker, so
Oh God,
Okay.
where's my
just
clinic?
grab your tissues and
Okay. Okay.
okay. So, all right. So here goes. Okay, so where do I begin? I guess just speak from the heart. To make it a little shorter version, I would just explain how I deal with mental illness in my own way. Many years ago, while in high school, maybe 10th grade, I want to say I had probably my first thought of suicide. Also, first time trying to harm myself, I used a butter knife. Throughout the years after high school, I suffered from deep depression, also from anxiety. But not until last year in January, my anxiety started getting worse. I lost my heart, my grandma. Her passing was extremely painful and hard for me to understand or grasp. Excuse me. I couldn't even concentrate. I couldn't even work, concentrate, or just even want to come to terms with it. I'm not blaming my grandma for leaving me because trust, she was in so much pain and tired of doctors and hospitals back to back. So I understand her wanting to let go. But the thing is, I'm selfish. I wanted my grandmother here because that's the only person who really loved and cared for me other than my mom. When I lost my grandma, I lost a huge part of me. When my anxiety started coming back after losing her, I couldn't control it anymore. Then, on top of that, me stressing, and then months go by, I started getting very weak and sick a lot. I didn't tell anyone other than a few close friends. Family talked about me so bad, like I was just being lazy, and so on and so on. But I know my body. I know how I feel. I felt sick before, but like a cold or something. I was starting to get very weak, dizzy spells. I smelled blood a lot, severe headaches, and a migraine. Getting nauseous and having suicidal thoughts a lot more. Thinking about my grandma being gone made my anxiety triggers bad. One point, I'm at work on the phone having an anxiety attack. I had to leave work multiple times because of my anxiety attacks were back to back. And I'm going to the emergency rooms, doctor's appointments. No one knew what was excuse me, no one knew what it was until I went to my blood doctor and he figured it out. I was born anemic, very low blood. Something I have lived with is low iron. But last year, my iron was very low, like lower than an 8.
Mm.
After going through therapy and being admitted into mental hospitals, therapy helped me. It's hard losing someone you love and so close to. Also, while dealing with illness, my anxiety and depression have a long way to go. I let it take me out a year ago because I was sick too much, struggling, and no one wanted to help me out. I don't have anyone. Excuse me, hold on. I don't have anyone. Least I feel that way. Only the people who helped me, a very few who I will forever be grateful for. Also, to make sure I bless them once my mental is back on track. I haven't been happy in a year. Ever since I lost my grandma, got sick, and lost myself. So I say to all, so I say all this to say, anyone suffering in silence, please go get help. A stranger will help you before family. Mental health illness is real. Don't ever let someone tell you otherwise. I take medication whenever I remember to, and I also pray now. I try to remember to pray a lot more because God really brought me a long way. I know my grandma got a helping hand. Last thing I want to say is even, you're never alone, even when you feel like it. However, I get suicidal thoughts. I pray to God to remove the devil out my mind. Music
Yes.
is my therapy also. If you need to cry, go ahead and do that. Crying is therapy also.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I'm always in ear, either far or near. I'll be here.
Wow.
Yeah, it was kind
Oh,
of hard for me. I was like, don't cry, because
No,
first
I
time I read
know.
it, I was
Yeah.
crying.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
That's more of a
I was
victory
reading along just in
testimony.
case if you
yeah, because
yeah.
Lala, I was like, Lala, you might have to read the rest of it.
Yeah.
But
That's how I was
oh,
looking down. I was reading the thing too. So, but
yeah.
Well, viewer, we are here with you, praying with
absolutely.
you,
Yeah.
viewers. Like our viewer said, like your viewer counterpart said, you're not alone. You don't have to be at it alone. Strangers usually will be the people that'll help you
Yeah.
before your own family.
Right.
Um, and mental health is real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everybody deals with a bit of mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, as a mental health specialist, I've seen this many times before. People think that you're the only person that's dealing with anxiety, or the only person that's dealing with depression or PTSD or schizophrenia, bipolar. You'll be amazed at the amount of people who suffer from these very diagnoses, but just react in different ways.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The very doctor that gives you the medication for the mental health issue that you're dealing with could have the very same mental health issue,
Mm.
but they handle it different. Not
Yeah.
all people are the same. Not everybody's medications is the same dose.
Mm.
Everybody has a different dosage. So I, for one, personally, as a mental health specialist, personally want to thank whoever that is that wrote that,
Mm.
and being transparent. It takes bravery
Yeah.
to actually tell a story that full. And then you realize that slump that happened. A lot of people don't know when they go through those dark spaces. They don't know where it comes from. In your case, you kind of know where it triggered from.
Yeah.
You know, the loss of your grandmother, and a lot of people, don't realize like, and they have to go back. Like when I started having anxiety attacks really bad, it was because every time I smelled a certain smell, it would take on, but I never understood why. It's because something in my past happened,
Yeah.
and during that time there was a certain smell that I dealt with or smelled, and once I realized that, a lot of things cleared up.
Yeah.
So
We
good
don't
for
care about
you.
the time at this moment right now.
Good for you
Yeah.
for being brave enough to tell your story.
Mm-hmm.
We thank you for that. And we
Yeah.
thank you also for having your own relationship with God.
Absolutely.
So you know who your help.
Yeah.
I think
Go
a
ahead.
part that got me was when she said she knew she was being selfish, and
Mm,
you know, it kind of just like a lot of people don't realize when people are going through that too. Instead of telling them that you are being selfish and this, you're the actually selfish person that's saying that. You don't
mm-hmm.
never want to tell a person that's going through
That they're
transition
being
that they're
selfish.
selfish. That when I
Yeah.
heard that, that was like it just it just made me feel like that my feelings didn't matter to you.
Aren't valid. Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's
And
just
I also want to say to you that, you talk about your grandmother a lot and losing her. I just want to let you know,
mhm,
baby, your grandmother is right there.
Yes,
Talk
you
to
haven't lost
her.
her at all.
Talk to her. Talk to God. She's right there. You can't see her, but she sees you. So,
Yeah.
and I know she's in such a better place and she's feeling better and all that good stuff. But, baby, she's
Mm-hmm.
right there. So,
Yeah.
the person that you miss the most, usually they're right there.
Yeah.
exactly.
Mm.
They're right there. So
Devontae,
everything is
you
gonna be
got
all right.
anything? Girl, you got us on here.
Yeah, I know. I
Pretty much
know.
just
I know.
echo with everything that y'all said. You're very strong for and brave for telling your story. You
Yeah.
know, I think you're even stronger for seeking the help. Because there are
Mm.
so many. There's so many people who battle with depression and anxiety and other
Yeah.
mental disorders, and they never seek the help. They pretty much go through life blaming other things or saying things like I'm okay, I know how to deal with this, I know how to process this or process that, and they never get the help. And
Yeah.
sometimes they leave us through natural causes,
Yeah.
other times because they never seek their help, they end up like you pretty much said, the suicide route. And we're just glad,
Mm.
I'm personally glad that you did not go that route. You know,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
even though you attempted it, but you have expressed that you now walk with God, and God had
Yes.
a
Mm.
plan for you.
Yeah,
You
Absolutely.
There you
know,
go.
and it
Yeah.
is
God, He had a
hurtful
plan for
when
you.
you
That's the reason why He did not allow you to
right.
succeed in those
Mm-hmm.
suicide attempts, whether it was, cutting or pills or overdose on some other level. God had bigger and better plans for you. And if they had not been revealed
Yes.
yet, they will be revealed
For
soon.
real.
Mm-hmm.
You
Exactly.
know,
What
Yeah.
was you finna say, Tina?
I was just like it's and it is also since I know this person personally, it's kind of like that connection. Like I never knew she went through them thoughts like that, and like
Yeah.
and I went through it too. So it's like it just reading it, just kind of just reading about yourself, like
Yeah.
how you attempted and plan.
Yes.
Like I even planned my whole. I planned.
Oh, Tina. Oh, baby.
So that is. So I still get kind of upset when I read about suicide stuff.
Oh,
Oh, honey. Oh, baby. Well, I tell you what, since you know this now, next time you see her, hug her a little tighter.
Yeah, absolutely.
He always keeps
Remind her, keep her reminded that you have each other.
Yeah.
You know, and you both could be there for one another.
Yeah.
exactly.
You know? That's all you do.
And
Oh
it's
God.
just people who did lose their life to suicide.
Mm.
You know, because I don't know what kept me so strong, because I was getting beat down while I was going through it.
Mhm.
So people telling me I'm selfish, I'm this, I'm that, and my mom also, because I think prayer helped with too, because she told me, she's
Yeah.
like, if you come out of this, I don't want you to be cold hearted, because that was an option too.
Yeah.
So that's probably why I changed. It wasn't necessarily my outlook, but if I'm having a bad day, I would literally go do something good for somebody else, because I was
Yeah.
like, I don't like the feeling. So I just started doing that, and I just, hopefully everybody else would be, I just want to see people happy. Also, I don't want nobody
Yeah.
going through
Absolutely.
something like this,
Yeah.
and it is sad that
Yeah.
Well, guys, you do not have to go at this alone. If you are watching and you are dealing with depression or insecurities or anxiety or, shame, anything like that, you don't have to go at it alone. Contact your local crisis team. There are plenty in every area. In fact, I will personally do
I
the
was about to
research
say,
myself, and
I
I
said the
will
same exact thing. Right
put it
in,
in
tell
the
us.
description so that you have where you need to go or an area that you can go, someone to talk to if you ever feel like you have no one, because you always have someone.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Exactly. I
Always
was about to
have.
say the exact same thing. Right in, tell us. We don't
Yeah,
have to put it on the show,
we don't.
at all.
We don't.
If you're local, we will help you find that group. Walk you into it. If you're far away, we would get on the phone and we will find that group. That crisis center, that hotline for somebody for you to
Mhm.
talk to. Whatever it may be that may help you to not necessarily come out of it, but help you
Get
go
through it.
through it and then be
Yeah.
able to come out. So
Yeah.
yes, we at the MD show will definitely help you do
Yeah.
that.
Sure.
exactly.
To the best of our
Okay.
abilities.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gents, that time has come for us to lip sync. Let me stop before. I don't have time for that. I don't, because Mother Rue, I love you.
Crying. Oh Lord.
I love you, Mother Rue, and I ain't got time for you to come after me. But y'all got us. We a mess. We are a mess right now, but that's because we love y'all, and to know that one of our viewers is feeling like that, is tugging on our strings, and we would definitely keep you in prayer. But until next week for the serious show, While Our Lives Mascara is running.
My mascara is running. I was not expecting that. Ugh.
We love y'all dearly. Have a good Wednesday, Thursday.
Enjoy the
Have
rest
a
of your
good
week.
Thursday.
Enjoy the rest of this week. Going into the weekend and do something fun. Do something lighthearted. Laugh or don't have fun.
Yeah. And do something good for somebody else.
Exactly.
Always.
Make it your duty. Do something good for one person tomorrow.
Mhm.
And keep it going.
Exactly.
Make that your duty to do every day. One thing good for someone else.
Mhm.
If it's just simple as giving a
Go
compliment.
to a drive-through and start what is that? What's that little chain?
Yeah.
Go and start one. Just go and start
Not a pay it forward chain.
Yes.
Yes.
Go start one. Just drive to any McDonald's or Starbucks and just start one.
Yeah,
They put a car
exactly.
behind me. And watch
Lala,
how
did
it
you
brightens up the whole city.
Well, we love y'all here at the L&D show. Until next time, I don't know what's going on with Lala right now.
I was wondering the same thing.
I'm gonna say, am I tripping?
No, she's
All I
she's
see is
oh, there
this.
she go. There she go.
There she go. Girl, you was froze like this.
Just pop back.
Oh, God.
But
Oh.
again, we love y'all. It's your gang from the L&D show. As always, it's the beautiful. Where's she at? There she go.
Oh,
The beautiful Lala. The handsome Devontae.
I'm Devontae.
Sexy, gorgeous, talented Tina. And
Crazy.
I'm good.
Crazy,
Crazy.
sexy, and beautiful We'll see you guys next week. And hopefully
Y'all
next
next
week won't
week.
be such a mess.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Lord
Because there's been one of these
Jesus.
shows when we were breaking down.
Lord Jesus.
Listen.
Love y'all.
All right, bye.